Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? Sorry, I'm probably just about a minute late signing on. Um, just want to welcome you to the Blue Couch and Company website on Facebook. That's where we're doing this Thumbs Up Thursday from the Blue Couch and Company, and that's where we'll continue to do it from now on. And so I just want to welcome you all today and just thank you for tuning in and thank you for being with me. Look, I got my new apron on today and I love it. It's not the big thumbs up apron, but I'll get to that apron shortly. But I just want to welcome you all today and just let you know how much I appreciate your attendance and appreciate you watching the Big Thumbs Up Thursday. And I am your host, Tommi Faye Fulton, author of Love Beyond Pain, Walk and Run While Wounded. And you can just call me Tommi. And so I want to do a few reminders. Go to my website, lovebeyondpain.com, and you can download a free ebook called Passion and Purpose. Just give your email and it'll be sent right to you. And I think that you will get a lot out of passion and purpose. And so today we're going to do, again, we're going to try to walk and chew gum. I like saying that because that gives me an excuse in case things go bad. I'm trying to walk and chew gum. But in any case, see, didn't I just tell you anything can go wrong? When you go live, you know, you can't do a repeat, it's live. So, but I do enjoy coming to you. I do enjoy doing a little cooking here. We are closer to the stove than normal because we're going to be mixing something up here on the stove, and so generally I don't be right at the stove or oven or however you want to call it when I'm fixing something. So I'm on the other side of my kitchen today, and so I welcome you to the Big Thumbs Up Thursday. And this is where you can come and get hope, healing, and encouragement. You know, I asked God, Lord, what is my purpose? He said, your purpose is to bring hope, healing through me, and encouragement in Jesus' name. And so that's my ministry, that's my work, and that's what I will continue to do until the day He brings me home, is to bring hope, healing, and encouragement to you. And so we're going to be having some guests on soon, you know, and I look forward to that, where they can come on and share some of the things that they do. And, you know, you can see life from other people's perspectives, as well as some of the businesses that they do or the ministry that they may be in, or whatever the case may be. I think we need to learn how to embrace all cultures and try to understand all people. And we may disagree on some doctrine or another, but that shouldn't make us disagree on love. And it shouldn't make us disagree on, you know, who's right or who's wrong. Because I think that when you share love and you give love, you're going to always come out on the right side. And so, as I said, whenever I come on the Big Thumbs Up, I love to try to share with you some of my cooking things that I like to cook. But you know, today we're going to kind of experiment and we're going to kind of take a risk today. And that's basically what we're going to talk about. Life is a risk. And this dish that I'm going to make today, it's not something I made before, but it's something that I watched a friend of mine make for us for dinner. And I really enjoyed it. It is a stew that you cook on top of the stove, and I have prepared, things ahead of time, because some things that we're mixing in this is real simple, but it takes time to cook. And so this is called the curry, lentil, and yams stew with coconut milk. That's curry, lentils, and yams with coconut milk. And so we're going to get started here. And again, walking and chewing gum. And so I'm going to try to get this going and talk to you at the same time about what I want to discuss today. In a minute, I'm going to read you a quote from Trent Shelton. But before we get to that, I'm going to go ahead and start this up and get this going so we can talk some more while other things are being cooked. So this is a lentil type of stew, and it has yams or sweet potato in it. And what makes it so flavorful is the curry. And so with that curry mixed in there with the coconut milk, it really tastes good. And this is something that you would really, really enjoy during the winter months. It wouldn't be something that I would make during the summer because it is a heavy dish. Okay? And so what we're going to do right now, we're going to add a little butter to the pan just to give it sort of a creamy flavor. Just want to take a little scoop of butter, not that much, and put it in the pan. You want your pan to already be hot. And this is coconut oil, okay? This is organic coconut oil. So we're going to add some of that in there to the pan as well. And you want to know how much? Not much. Maybe a few, maybe about 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. Okay? Put that in there. And so we had a lot of rain today, and it was very rainy and very gloomy out today. And you know, when it gets rainy like that, I like to sleep mostly. I enjoy the rain, and so we got a lot of rain here. So this is, in this pan is the butter and the coconut oil that I'm going to add these white onions to. I'm going to scrape these white onions in the pan, and we're going to let those kind of cook around in there a little bit. So while they're cooking, turn the heat up a little bit. While they're cooking, I'm going to talk to you. And so what I want to talk to you today about is, I want to read this quote first, and then I'll talk about what I want to talk about. So in this quote by Trent Shelton, and this was a quote that I posted in the Blue Couch, and some of you probably already have read it. And it says that life has taught me that you can't control someone's loyalty. No matter how good you are to them, doesn't mean that they will treat you the same. No matter how much they mean to you, doesn't mean that they will value you the same. Sometimes the people you love the most turn out to be the people you can trust the least. Let me read that last section of that again. Sometimes the people you love the most turn out to be the people you can trust the less. And so, you know, whenever I read things like that, I truly think about Jesus and what he must have gone through, you know, working with the disciples. If you hear something in the background, it's just my ice maker making ice. And so I guess You know, he wants to talk with me at this point in time. But when I think about this particular quote, I think about Jesus. And yeah, I think about my life as well. That when we have people in our lives that we love, I guess the expectation is that they're going to love us just as much as we love them. And that they're going to be just as loyal to us as we are to them. But as we know, even in Jesus' case, that wasn't so. You know, we know that his disciples slept with him, ate with him, went around, did miracles with him, saw the power of God, and saw all that Jesus was doing. But still, they weren't loyal to him. They betrayed him. They abandoned him. They denied him. They rejected him. They humiliated him. And he was punished to death through the unjust of those who was ignorant and those who were weak. And so this is where we find our lives today. We can do the same as well sometimes when we are, you know, loving people. This is just not a one-way street. You know, so when I talk about these things, I'm not just talking about it from the aspect of what someone may have done to me. Because, you know, I've lived long enough to know that I have hurt people too. And been unloyal and didn't love them as much as they loved me. And so it takes courage to admit those things about yourself. And if you can't admit those things about yourself, then you got a problem, you know? And so Jesus, he came because he loved us. He died because he loved us. And he took on our sorrows, our griefs. He was smitten, he was bruised, he was battered. He didn't deserve to get what he got. But he took on all of that for us. And he demonstrated and he showed his love for us by giving his life. And so we may say that we'll give our lives for our children, we'll give our lives for, some people give their lives for animals, some people give their lives for the forest, some people give their lives for different things, you know. But when it comes down to, you know, human beings sometimes we kind of, you know, think about whether we'll give our life for, you know, a particular individual or persons or whatever the case may be. But that quote really kind of struck me when I read it the first time. You know, it says, he starts off by saying, life has taught me that you can't control someone's loyalty. You know, and I often used to tell my children when they were coming up, you can't control nobody. You can influence people's lives, but you can't control their lives. And so in that, we try to love people from the heart. There's no guarantee that they're going to love you back. And I had shared with you all that I'm writing my new book. It's called Love Beyond Pain, Soul Crimes. And because I'm a criminal justice major, I understand those things fairly well. And so the reason why I called it soul crimes is because we do commit soul crimes against one another. And just like people commit real crimes, people can conspire against your soul, people can murder your soul, people can defraud your soul, people can kidnap your soul through their actions and through their behavior. But I ain't going to tell you too much about the book because I don't want to give it away. But I do share in there my own personal story in the beginning pages just to give you an idea about where the book is going. But in any case, what I've done here with this stew, we're going to get back to that in just a moment, is that this is a white onion that I am, softening up the onions a little bit before I put the rest of the ingredients in there. But I will go ahead and season it. And so what seasoning I'm using is an all-purpose Goya. So I'm just going to put a little seasoning in there because I like to just add a little bit of seasoning, and then once it's all done, then I'll taste it to see if I need to add more to that. So you can just shake that around in there over these onions. And the onions do not have to turn brown. We don't want the onions to be wilted and brown or burnt. And put a little bit of black pepper, shake a little bit of that in there. And like I said, you can always go back and add more to that. But what makes this dish really good is the curry and the coconut milk. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon of curry to these onions. And if I want to add a little bit more curry because I want it to taste really spicy, then I'll do that. So we got our curry in right now. I'm going to stir that around a little bit more. Smells good already. When that curry hit those onions, woo, smells wonderful. So I'm going to stir that around a little bit. The one thing I like about the Big Thumbs Up Thursday, it gives me time to spend with you. And it also helps, it's very therapeutic for me to do this, and I like being creative. I really come alive when I can be creative and when I can share things and, make things and so forth. So I really like being creative. And so now, if you can see that, those onions are well coated. I don't want them to get too brown. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my lentils in. And I cooked about a cup of lentils. Now, I wouldn't normally eat lentils straight. But when I looked up and I read about the nutritional value of lentils, lentils ain't but a really small bean. I mean, really, you can probably barely see it. But they have such nutritional value. And you should look that up about what is the nutritional value of lentils. You'll be surprised. So I'm going to drop my lentils in this pan. Smells good. Oh, do I want to put the rest in? I'm going to leave a little bit out. And that's a cup of lentils. So a cup of lentils is quite a bit. All right, so I'm mixing the lentils along with the curry and the onions together. Smells good, looks good already. Okay, so I got my lentils in there with the onions and the curry and a little bit of other seasoning. So what's going to really bring this all together, and we're going to let it cook a little bit, is the coconut milk. Oh, the other thing too, before I put the coconut milk in, I forgot I told you about the yams. So I went ahead and I pre-cooked my yams or sweet potatoes, whichever one you want to put. And so I kind of made little circles, and so I'm just going to lay those on top of the lentils and the onions and the curry inside the pan. Looks pretty, smells nice, and I know it tastes good because someone made it for me. So I'm taking a risk making something today that I've never made before. I've only seen it made. So, I hope it turns out to be just as good as it was for the person who made it for me at the time. All right, so we got that in there. I pick up my hand towel here. So that looks really, really nice. So I'm going to show you. We have our lentils, our onions, our curry, and our yams or sweet potatoes on top. So that has to all blend in together. This is, let's see. This is 11.5 ounces of coconut milk in the can. And this is condensed coconut milk, okay? Not coconut milk in a bottle or in a, you know, this is really thick and it's sweet. This is sweet coconut condensed milk. And we're going to pour that on top of everything. All right. This is going to taste really good. All right, let's set that aside. And I'm just going to let that cook for a moment. Excuse me one moment, I got to get a top. That's one thing I forgot to bring over here was a top to put on it. I'll be right back. All right, that's one of those walk and chew gums moments. So we're going to put a top on this and just let it simmer. Turn the heat down on it. And we're going to let that simmer maybe about 10 minutes. And so, you know, as I was talking about the quote, you know, sometimes we have expectations when we're in a relationship with someone. We have expectations of our children. We have expectations of our spouses. We have expectations of our friends, family members. The list goes on and on and on. Everybody has an expectation when they're in a relationship. But the risk is, just like making this stew for the first time, is that you don't know how it's going to turn out. But you work at it. You build on it. And you hope and pray that the relationship works out. But sometimes it doesn't work out. And, you know, I can go into a lot and talk about that, but I won't get into that right now. But, you know, I want to encourage you that if you're in a relationship with someone and you were hoping that that person was going to be just as loyal to you and love you just as much as you loved them and was loyal to them, then you run the risk of that not turning out the way you anticipated. And that's where the pain comes in at, you know. That's where the hurt and soul wounds come in, is that there is this expectation. And you could have talked about, you know, expectations prior to getting into the relationship, prior to getting married, prior to investing so much time, energy, money, whatever it is that you invested in the relationship. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it all is going to go well. And so there's many factors that play into why things don't go well. But what I want you to understand is that we're all human, and we all have weaknesses, and we all have ignorances. That's just human nature, you know. But we are required by God's love to forgive those who trespass against us, to forgive those who hurt us, you know. And I know that that is a very difficult thing to do. It's difficult for me as well. But I have learned throughout my life not to hold animosity and not to hold grudges, and you know, because that ties my soul up. And I don't want my soul to be tied up. I want to be able to prosper and flourish and be able to reach out to someone else or some persons or whatever the case may be and love again. And so that's what Love Beyond Pain is about. It's about forgiving yourself for the mistakes that you've made, forgiving others for the mistakes they made against you. And even though you may still feel the effects of what has been done to you, you love yourself to continue on. You love yourself to move on with life. And you may still continue to feel the hurts and the pain of what someone has done to you, but that's no time to die. That's a time to live, and that's a time to really find out, what you're made of. As they say, when the rubber meets the road and something has hit you like a ton of bricks, it will really test to see what kind of person you are, what kind of courage you have, and what kind of character you have in the midst of the storm. Can you survive in the midst of the storms that you may be going through in life? And it's not easy. It's never been easy for me. But I have Holy Ghost resiliency, and God just allows me to keep bouncing back. No matter what hits me, I will always bounce back until that day comes that God just takes me home. But I want to bring hope and encouragement and healing to you today, that if you're going through something, if you're experiencing something, life is not over unless you decide that you're not going to begin again. It's okay if you have to start over. It's okay if you lost money, or if you lost time, or if you lost energy, or even if you've lost faith. It's okay. Just get back up again and look at life straight in the eye and just go for it. God has given us the ability and the power through Him to bounce back from anything. And sometimes I wonder how other people who don't know the Lord, or who may not, excuse me, I'm by the oven again, so it's hot, and you understand. But how it takes a lot of I think a lot of willpower to be able to bounce back after going through a traumatic emotional incident, if you're not dependent on God to bring you through that. I believe in prayer. I believe that He gives us the strength to pick ourselves back up and to start again, to be able to just mount up like eagles and have wings like eagles, and to run and not faint, and to walk and not be weary, or if it's the other way around, you get my point. But in any case, healing is always available. Healing is always there. You shouldn't give up on yourself. What one of the things that really bless my heart is when I can be creative. That's one of the things that really helped me. And I like color, okay? As you can see on my apron, I like color. And I went out and I bought me some real flowers today, okay? And when I went into the grocery store, I just saw them there. It was raining, no sun. It was gray and dark out this morning, But I went ahead and got these flowers. I said, and when I got out the car, I didn't rush in the store. I just let the rain fall on me, Sometimes you just got to let the rain fall on you and stop trying to be in a rush to get out of the rain. Just let it fall on you and just, say, God, I thank you for the rain, Just like I thank you for the sunshine. I thank you for the rain today, Lord. And I'm just going to take my time walking in the store, even though I'm getting wet, and that's what I did. And I was just at peace when I did that. I didn't feel frustrated trying to rush and get out the rain and seeing people get out their cars with their umbrellas. And it was really, it was really pouring down this morning, But I said, I'm not going to use no umbrella. I'm going to get out here and I'm going to take my time walking from my car into the store, and I'm just going to thank God for the rain. And that's exactly what I did. And that's how life is. You know, sometimes you just got to thank the Lord for the rain. You just got to just walk and just thank God for the rain as well as the sunshine, because it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. You know, just trust him and believe and have faith in him, you know. And I know the difficulties. I know the struggle of trying to fight through emotional pains and trying to pick yourself back up after you've been knocked down real hard, you know. I understand, and I believe that's why God has given me this ministry. He has given the work for me to do for the rest of my days is to bring people hope, healing, and encouragement. And so I just want to encourage you today, you know, and I ask that you continue to pray for me and continue to encourage me. And, you know, we just encourage one another. What else do we have? What else can we do but to try and encourage and try to love one another? And so I was blessed by that poem because it really reminded me of what I already knew, was that people are not going to love you as much as you love them. They're not going to be as loyal to you as you have been to them. And that's just the way it is, you know. And is it a risk? Yes, it is a risk. You know, so anytime you put yourself out there to be vulnerable and to humble yourself before someone, you run the risk of pain and hurt and sorrows, because you can't control that person. You know, you can only love them. And even though they may have hurt you and damaged you and committed all kinds of acts against you, you continue to love them, because that makes you bigger, you know, in God's sight, is when you can continue to love them no matter what they have done to you. And God will bless you for it. No matter what you have lost, God will restore it, and he will bless you for it. And all is not lost, because you're still living. You know, you can still, you know, do what the things that you have to do. Some people go through horrendous things in life, you know, and they just go on and, you know, just be happy that they are living. And so if you know, you find yourself feeling sorry for yourself, just think about those who have really gone through losses, a loss of a child, a loss of a spouse, a loss of a sister or brother or mother or father, you know, a loss of a best friend. And so there's been a lot of loss in these last couple of years, and like we have never seen it before. And so I'm grateful, and I thank God for living. I didn't used to. I used to cry out to God to take me away from this earth, because the pain of what I was enduring at that time in my life was so great that I couldn't bear it anymore. The emotional pain of what I was dealing with. But God said, not so. I still have work for you to do. And so just believe and trust that there's still work for you to do. If you didn't die from that, you won't die from this. And God will have something for you to do to bless other people, because that's what life is all about. It's about encouraging others. It's about them being able to come past your fig tree and finding fruit that they can pick from the tree, and they can eat, and they can be nourished and blessed to live another day. And so I thank you for tuning in today to the Big Thumbs Up Thursday. This is my day. I'm in my element, you know. This is what I enjoy. I enjoy being creative, and I enjoy writing. I enjoy using my imagination. It brings me to life, you know. And so when I'm not doing those things, I'm not a happy person. So I enjoy doing those things. It helps me, and I hope it'll help you too. So the meal that we cooked today is this. It smells so good. Wow. This is lentil stew made with yams or sweet potato, coconut milk, condensed coconut milk, sweetened condensed coconut milk. I have to make emphasis on that, with onions and curry. And it is the curry that really makes it taste so wonderful. So I'm looking forward to eating that for dinner tonight. So thank you for tuning in. Again, I'm Tommi Faye Fulton. You can just call me Tommi. And thank you for being with me. Thank you for praying for me. And thank you for being there. I am here for you too. You have a wonderful and marvelous day. God bless. See you on next Thursday. Bye-bye for now.